Hey, Sonia! I have a teeny-weeny little favor to ask you. This week's edition of the weekly manga magazine I like is going on sale today. Everyone's super hyped about it. Go and buy me it, okay?
Hey, Veronica. I'm really sorry, but I'm at work today, so I can't do that.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. You get breaks, don't you? It only take you 5 minutes to go to the convenience store.
You make it sound so simple, but it takes me an hour and a half to get to the nearest convenience store and back. You're right, I do get breaks, but they're not that long.
Oh, stop it, Sonia. You're just being argumentative on purpose now. Go get me my magazine. Oh, and make sure you don't get the monthly one by mistake. It's the weekly one I want. Weekly, you got that?
Go buy it yourself. You got that?
Ugh, you're so annoying.
The only time you left the house this year was to go to that manga convention half a year ago, wasn't it? You should really make more of an effort to leave your room sometimes. The sunlight would do you good.
Like I said, stop being argumentative. Just go and buy my magazine.
I can't get away from work. Besides, I take it I'd be the one paying for it?
You're saying you can't afford $2? After reading last week's edition of Demon Sprayer, I can barely contain myself. I just have to read the next one. Apparently, the main character's gonna learn a new breathing attack. I want to read it now.
Like I said, if you want to read it so badly, go buy it yourself. There's a convenience store like 2 minutes away from your house, isn't there?
Going outside is such a drag.
How can going outside and walking for 2 minutes be a drag? I'm going back to work.
No, wait! You're such a tightwad, Sonia. Ugh! I didn't get to read this week's edition. This is all your fault, Sonia. You disgust me.
So you didn't end up going out to buy it?
I asked Mom to go and pick it up for me, but she bought the weekend edition by mistake. This is why I asked you. She doesn't know what she's looking for. I was at my wit's end, so I asked Dad when he got home from work instead. But he bought the freaking children's edition. Is it seriously so difficult to go out and buy a comic book from the convenience store? Why is everyone in this family so useless?
It's just like they say. If you want something done properly, do it yourself. Don't you understand why it might be difficult for someone who doesn't read manga to differentiate between different editions?
Maybe so, but the only reason I asked him in the first place was because you were being too much of a tightwad to get it for me.
I told you I was at work. There was nothing I could do about it.
5 minutes wouldn't have hurt you.
Maybe if you'd had a single job in your life, you'd understand why what you're saying is ridiculous. You're 38 years old. Your dad's gonna be retiring to live off his pension next year. Don't you think it's about time you stopped being a neat shut-in and maybe started looking for a job or a husband? I think it's about time you started getting your life together and seriously thinking about the future. That is, if it's already not too late.
Ugh, shut up! You're so annoying!
Okay, I see. I'm annoying, am I? Here's the thing. I'm not gonna change my mind, and I'm just gonna carry on saying the exact same things to you. So if I'm really that bad, I recommend you just stop speaking to me.
What? You really think the fact you happen to have a job and some money makes you special? Don't you? Get off your high horse, you condescending weasel. Hey, are you there? Please, respond.
Hey, Sonia, you got a minute?
Huh? Brett? Are you off work today?
Yeah, I went on one of my days off to help out with a staff shortage, so they gave me today off instead.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, listen, sis. I had a really weird phone call at work, and there's something I want to ask you.
What is it?
How do I even ask this? So, you know that comic book that's really popular right now, Demon Slayer?
Yes. My son has the standalone book, so I'm no expert, but I do know about it.
Well, apparently some strange woman cosplaying as one of the main characters showed up at the office and told the receptionist she was my girlfriend.
What the hell?
Apparently, when she heard it was my day off, she walked off looking all dejected. Before that, when the receptionist asked her name, she said it was Veronica Watson. But isn't that your sister-in-law? The shut-in who does nothing but read comic books and never leaves the house?
What? You're joking.
Isn't she almost 40?
She's 38, going on 50. Decades of sunlight deprivation and subsisting solely on a diet of potato chips and cola has not been kind to her.
I'm pretty sure I've only ever met her once, you know? That one time at your wedding? I really don't think we're familiar enough for her to be going around telling people she's my girlfriend.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
My boss started teasing me when he phoned me to tell me what happened. So that's the kind of girl you're into, Brett? I can't believe it. You have no idea how embarrassing this is.
Oh, just what the hell is my sister-in-law playing at? Has she lost her mind? Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's cool. It's not your fault. Don't apologize. I just don't want anything to do with her, that's all. I'd prefer she stayed away from me from now on.
Yeah, of course. I totally understand that. If she ever tries coming near you again, feel free to say whatever you like to her. Or even run away. Running away is fine too. I'll warn her. I'll make it clear she needs to leave you alone.
Alright, thanks. I'm counting on you, sis.
Veronica? I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, Sonia, perfect timing. I need to ask you a favor.
Buy your own freaking comic books.
Huh? Comic books? Nothing's even going on sale today, you dweeb.
Well, what favor do you want to ask me then?
So it's like this. I want you to arrange a date for me.
A date? Are you looking for a husband now?
I want to go as far as saying I'm looking for a husband. But I've been doing a lot of thinking since our conversation the other day. And I think you're right. I'm not getting any younger, and I can't go on relying on mom and dad forever. Things could end up getting difficult for me if I don't get my butt in gear. Guess what? I had a stroke of genius.
A stroke of genius?
So, you have a little brother, right? Brett! I heard he graduated university with high honors this year and immediately got a job at a prestigious major company. Is that true?
Well, yeah, it is, but why? What does my brother have to do with anything?
Me and him are gonna get married.
What?
Don't you think it's just the best idea? I'm so clever, I even surprise myself sometimes.
Wait, no way. Is that why you showed up at his company and pleaded with the receptionist to bring him out to you?
It may have something to do with it. I wanted to arrange a date, but the problem was, I didn't know his number. That's why I had no choice but to go and see him directly at work. Unfortunately, he wasn't there today. My hopes were dashed this time, but the fire of my determination yet burns brightly.
Veronica! Just wait a second. You do know, don't you? Brett is 23 years old. You're 38.
Yep, I know.
What? You're pulling these crazy shenanigans while fully being aware of the 15-year age gap?
If I'm gonna get married, it only makes sense that I bag myself a promising young hunk.
What?
Plus, when I looked through all the group photos back from that time we met at the wedding, I realized he looks just like my favorite anime character. I never noticed when we met, but wow, it's uncanny. They're even the same age. If this isn't fate, I don't know what is.
Oh, good God. Is that why you were cosplaying as an anime character when you barged into his office demanding to see him?
I thought it would make a stronger impression on him.
Veronica, I'm really not sure if that's the kind of impression you want to leave on someone.
On top of all that, if I marry him, I'm guaranteed never to have to worry about money for the rest of my life. What with him working at a prestigious major company and all. I can live in a perpetual ease and luxury as his stay-at-home housewife. I'll never have to work a day in my life. He ticks all the boxes, my dream man. We can live in a big detached house with a garden and a pond. We could even hire a gardener and some maids. Oh, I get butterflies in my stomach just thinking about it. Our dream life.
As long as you know it's just a dream.
Huh? Oh, let me guess. You don't think we deserve to be happy because there happens to be a slight age gap, is that it? There are tons of couples with 15-year age gaps these days. Get with the times already. It's like the old saying goes, when you truly love someone, age is just a number.
Yeah, sure, but that only applies when both parties are willing participants in the relationship.
How do you know he won't be? We haven't even met properly yet.
That's not the point! You shouldn't even be getting your hopes up because it's not happening! Ugh, there's no way I'd ever introduce an arrogant, entitled, self-destructive, neat shut-in like you to my little brother! I respect him too much.
OMG! How can you be so cold? How can you be so intent on shooting us down before we've even had a chance to launch? We could be the best couple of all time.
I don't doubt that there's a lovely woman out there somewhere who'd make a perfect wife for him. But the one thing I am certain of is that it's not you.
You're the cruelest person I've ever met. Your words, they pierce my heart like a blade.
Cruel is fine by me. The only reason you're interested in him is because you're so desperate to get out of having to work. I wouldn't introduce my brother to an idle, greasy slob like you if you were the last woman on Earth. I'd rather he marry a monkey. At least a monkey would leave the house.
How could you? Here I am, finally trying to turn my life around just like you told me to, and this is how you treat me? I'm really trying. I'm doing my best here. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if not for you. The least you could do is help me.
Your efforts are misdirected, and there's no way I'll be a part of this lunacy. Why can't you just be a normal and get a job or find someone who will date you willingly? There are 1,000,001 ways to meet guys, if that's what you want. Blind dating events, dating sites, bars, take your pick.
I don't have time for things like that.
Not my problem. Ugh. The bottom line is, you're not marrying my brother. You better stay away from him.
Ugh.
He's not interested in you at all. Please, do not go near him again. I'm asking you nicely here.
Sonia! Help! She's here!
What?
Veronica! She came back! She just barged into the office cosplaying as an anime character again!
What?
I'm at work today. The plan was to tag along with the boss while he went out into the car to conduct some house calls. Just as I was waiting by the entrance getting ready to leave, she sprinted over out of nowhere and started yelling some weird crap. Something like marriage breath type 1. She looked ready to pounce me at any second.
Oh my.
Thankfully, security was all over her like a rash, and they pulled her into the holding room where they're watching her like a hawk as we speak. The only reason I didn't call the police is because she's family.
No, call the police.
What? Really?
Listen, I actually told the in-laws, her parents, about what happened yesterday. It turns out they're very much aware of her issues, and they said if she ever does anything like that again, they're happy for you to call the police on her, no questions asked. Oh, I am so sorry for all the trouble, but if she does it again, please don't hesitate to call the cops. She needs to know that actions have consequences.
Got it.
Sonia, how could you? Why do you tell Brett it was okay to call the police? I may only be your sister-in-law, but that still makes me your sister. Not only that, but I'm still your little brother's future wife. How can you do this to me?
Are you still harping on about this? My brother is not marrying you!
Yes, he is!
He hasn't looked at you in that way even once, I assure you. In fact, I'm pretty sure he genuinely would rather marry a monkey. Just give up!
How can you be so sure? We haven't even gotten to know each other yet. The plan was to go on a date and woo him with my feminine charm. Stop getting in my way!
Cut the crap, Veronica! I've had enough!
Huh?
It's time I told you a truth that will yank you back down to reality out of this twisted fantasy world you live in. My little brother has a 30-year-old girlfriend.
Huh? 30? That means she's older than him! Why can she date him but I can't, you hypocrite?
Because they're both willing participants in the relationship. They met when she was his teacher back in high school. He told me he fell for her kind, dignified, warm personality, and said that he was always just so at ease and content when they were together. He spent 2 years going on the attack after he graduated school, and now they're an official couple. This is what people mean when they say, when you truly love someone, age is just a number. Not constantly showing up at someone's work in cosplay outfits like some psycho stalker!
Aha! I see! If Brett has a thing for older ladies, that means I might actually be in with a chance!
I thought you might have had a screw loose at first, but I'm starting to think they all fell out a long time ago.
Huh? What does that mean?
Relationships and marriage can only exist on the foundation of mutual consent. You can't force someone to want to be with you. How can you possibly think this insane way of interacting with people could ever work?
But...
Goodbye. My, oh my. That was quite the little episode, wasn't it? I have no idea how much of what I said she actually understood. I don't know whether it was due to her already having been warned by the police or finding out Brett had a girlfriend bringing her back down to reality, but she finally gave up on her maniacal pursuit of my little brother. However, the in-laws, Veronica's parents, were faced with the painful realization that they bore some responsibility for their daughter's questionable lifestyle choices because they'd always spoiled her. She was exiled to live with a distant relative who ran a monastery, whose catchphrase was, "Fasting and prayer are life's greatest joys." She vowed to instill some discipline into the wayward child, and Veronica's daily life came to consist of 5 a.m. starts, followed by rigorous exercise and scripture study. She did protest her exile, insisting she couldn't go due to the final edition of Demon Slayer being due for release the following week. But her mom, who was usually calm and docile, scared the life out of her, shrieking like a banshee, "You are going and that's final!" I guess everyone's patience has its limits. She was forced into the back of her dad's car while bawling her eyes out. Like a lamb to the slaughter.
Dylan, do you realize what time it is? Why aren't you answering my calls? You're making me worry.
Zoe, sorry, I was sleeping.
You were asleep? Where were you sleeping?
At the office. I can't believe nobody woke me up.
Okay. You're gonna catch a cold sleeping there.
You're right. I guess I'll go to a hotel nearby.
What? Why a hotel?
Well, there are no more trains. And it's better to just stay at a hotel than using a taxi to get home. I can get more sleep that way.
You seem to be spending the night out a lot lately.
I'm busy now, I can't help it.
But I met Kenny's wife the other day. And she was talking about going on a family trip over the weekend. Your colleague seems to have no problem coming home every day.
He's different. Kenny's not headed in the right direction. He's not taking this job seriously.
Is that so? He seems to be really sincere.
Yeah, he just seems that way. You wouldn't know. You're just a housewife. You don't even work.
What do you mean I don't work? I'm working now.
Yeah, at home. You think that compares to what I do? I'm outside working my butt off.
I do understand that commuting and working outside is hard, but I'm still making money. So I'd like to be acknowledged for that.
Okay, I got you. Later.
Oh, wait. You're coming home tomorrow, right? I actually ordered some of your favorite clams. I'm thinking of making clam chowder.
Oh, well, that's thoughtful of you. Sounds good.
So I really want you to come home tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely can't miss out on clams.
Good. I'll have dinner waiting for you.
Okay, thanks. I'm off to the hotel. Good night.
Dylan, you promised to be home early today. It's already past 9.
My bad. I still got work.
I told you I wanted to have a talk with you.
Well, let's talk now then. Go ahead.
I want to talk in person.
What's the need for that? I'm busy. Get your point across.
We can't even talk in person?
What? I don't want to listen to your complaining. Now or never. What's it gonna be?
Fine. About Addison.
Huh?
Ring a bell?
What? I don't know what you're getting at.
No use trying to hide it anymore. I already know. You and Addison are having an affair.
You're suspecting me of cheating for not coming home? Don't be so paranoid. It's creepy.
I'm not suspecting, I know. I've been investigating you this past month.
Investigating?
I hired a detective.
What? Why?
Why do you think? You were obviously acting weird these past few months. Even when you were busy with your job, you never used to stay out overnight. But lately it's been happening a lot. Can you blame me for being suspicious? Thought you'd be able to get away by saying it's work?
Still, how could you go snooping around my private business? Talk about chilling.
You're the one cheating. It's your fault. I've been doubting you all along. But it's a month ago that I finally decided to investigate you.
A month ago? What happened then?
I made your favorite clam chowder. I was looking forward to enjoying it with you. You promised to come home early, remember?
Oh, that's when I was loaded with work.
I don't know what the reason was, but I absolutely wanted you to come home that night. It was our wedding anniversary.
Oh, sorry. I completely forgot.
Yeah, you don't care about me anymore.
It's just an anniversary.
What?
Don't be such a bother.
What? Is it my fault?
Yeah, you're making me want to cheat by being so unpleasant. Always complaining. Growing older by the day. Addison is so young and sweet.
All of a sudden, you're legitimizing your affair.
Well, I'm happy with my current situation. Nothing better than going out with a young, cute girl.
Have you forgotten you're married? Don't you realize how despicable you're being?
It's not like we have kids. It's just a matter of divorcing.
You want a divorce.
Yeah, I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be with someone who's going to hire a detective on me. Sooner or later, you'll start going through my phone. I don't want to go home to that.
So you're serious about her.
Of course. She's way better.
Alright. I guess it's good that you came clean.
So let's get on with the divorce.
Very well, but I will demand compensation. Don't forget to tell your girlfriend too. She works with you. She must have known you were married.
Huh? It's all your fault. If you were a decent wife, I wouldn't have had to go looking elsewhere. You are the problem. Why am I the one to compensate you?
The state prohibits adultery, thus it is my right.
Whatever. It's just about money. Did you make me go have an affair just to get money out of me?
Don't be ridiculous! I was trying to mend things with you even after knowing you were cheating. I was hoping you would come back to me. That's why I was being so nice.
I've had enough. I'll leave the house tomorrow. Go get the divorce papers.
When are we having a talk? You left all of a sudden, and now you're ignoring me. You want me to go to your workplace?
Can't even stay quiet and wait for a while? I'm too busy to be answering to you. I have my issues.
Issues? That's not my problem. We need to talk about compensation and division of property. And what about all your belongings? You're just gonna leave them here?
Just throw it all away.
What? I need to deal with it. It costs money to dump all of this out.
Money, money, money. That's all you care about.
Because you're not even willing to talk. It's what comes along with carrying out a divorce.
Well, then I'll make demands too.
I don't owe you anything. It's you that needs to compensate me. How many times do I need to tell you?
Oh no, you do owe me for living expenses.
Living expenses.
You want compensation for cheating? Then you need to pay for all the living expenses until now. I'll reclaim what I gave you.
What?
I took care of you as my wife all these years. You need to repay me. Rent, food, utilities. All of that ended up being a waste. I'll get all of that settled in turn for paying compensation.
Settling our living expenses. Really? Awesome!
What are you getting so excited about?
You said we need to settle our living expenses, right? Then you'll sign the divorce paper and pay me compensation?
Yeah?
I'm completely fine with that. I'll take care of listing up all the expenses.
What's with the change of heart? Didn't realize you wanted a divorce that badly. You should really learn some charm.
You want a divorce too, right? Did you want to see me beg?
No, not at all. But
Then everything is fine. I'll claim my compensation along with settling for expenses. Don't forget, you will comply to talks. If you try to weasel your way out again, I'll really pay you a visit at your workplace.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm only glad to be getting rid of you. Marrying you was such a waste of my time. Hey, Zoe, what are you thinking? I got your claim for both living expenses and compensation. What's the deal?
Oh, you got it.
What is this? Why am I being billed close to $60,000 for both expenses and compensation?
But that's what you demanded. You said we needed to settle the living expenses.
I should be the one getting money for taking care of you. What is this amount? Can't you even calculate?
Here's the deal. We've been married for 3 years. And think about it. Your net income per month is $2,800, right?
Yeah.
And you continue to spend about half of it for yourself. You only put in the rest for our expenses, right?
Yeah, I've been giving you like $1,400 every month. So that's $16,800 a year? $50,400 over the course of 3 years.
our rent is $933. On top of that, we had the expenses of utilities, internet, insurance, and food, just to name a few. How much do you think I've been paying? And that car you bought last year, who actually paid for it?
Well, that was from the marital savings.
Huh? How was that savings marital? That's pretty much all my earnings that was in the savings.
That can't be right. I make more than you.
My net income has been over $4,000 a month, and I only spend like $250 for myself every month. You were spending your earnings like it was nothing. So I was not being taken care of by you. It's the other way around.
You've been earning more than $4,000 a month?
Yeah! How else would we get by with you spending so much for yourself? Nothing I said could stop your splurging. It was easier for me to just earn a living myself.
But you work at home.
Yeah, and? I may not have literally been working my butt off, but I worked extremely hard to get to where I am today. I even cut back on sleep when I had to, all the while you were splurging and out playing with your girlfriend. You really are despicable. Don't you dare talk back to me.
Well, I didn't realize you were making so much.
It doesn't matter now. I've calculated everything exactly, so you need to pay up.
$58,000. Plus, you're claiming like $27,000 from Addison, right? That's $85,000 total. Don't you think it's a bit too much?
You're the one that demanded to settle living expenses. I only did what you said to do.
Sorry, forget the living expenses.
What?
I don't know of any law that requires the settlement of living expenses. I can't afford that.
It's you that started it. Once you realize it's you that has to pay, forget it? How convenient.
No, I was wrong.
Wrong. You just changed your mind?
Zoe, you really are something. You've been earning more than me?
Uh-huh. I'll settle with just the compensation, so pay up. A debt of $40,000 isn't gonna kill you.
Zoe, I'm seeing you in a new light.
Huh?
Addison actually has no savings. She's demanding I pay for her cut of the compensation too. She's really useless.
Excuse me?
So, I've decided to return home. Let's forget the divorce.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've been thinking these past few days, and Addison really isn't for me. But I couldn't back out, so I was playing tough. I'm sorry, Zoe. I'll make amends and become a good husband.
You really think that's gonna change my mind? You really are something. I don't want to be with you anymore, get it? You cheat on me after I take care of you all these years? And on top of that, you deny my worth.
I was just bluffing.
Disgusting.
Huh?
You're absolutely disgusting. Why am I gonna choose to be with a cheating money pit like you? I'm glad to get rid of you.
But the other day you were saying how you were hoping I'd come back to you.
It's called a change of heart. I don't change minds easily like you, so it's too late. Just sign the paper.
Zoe, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I won't splurge, and I won't cheat anymore.
Your words are so meaningless. I'm even more convinced that divorcing you is the right path. Marrying you was such a waste of my precious time. I had my attorney tell him to comply to the divorce and compensation, or his company will be notified. And my husband finally appeared to talk. He continued to cry and apologize, but it had no effect on me. Realizing that my mind was not going to change, he signed the papers at the third round of talks. Watching him cry every time we met was really irritating, so I am relieved. My ex's girlfriend did not have the money to pay compensation, so she had to borrow from her parents. Because of this, her parents are now suing my ex for defaming their daughter. The way I see it, they're both to blame. But it looks like my ex and his girlfriend are going to continue bickering at each other. I've become determined since deciding on the divorce, and my mind is now very clear. I was caught up in a mindset telling me that I had to take care of the person I decided to marry. Now I know that was a mistake. Finally being freed from the curse, I feel genuinely happy. I wish to live true to myself. I still have hope that one day I will be able to join hands with someone that can be mutually supportive with me.